everyone, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show.
So funny, I was like super empowered. I don't think I could sleep.
Still follows the same rules, has the same characters and all that stuff,
Yes.
but it just tweaks it a little bit.
You're reading fantasy, and it's so grounded. It's so completely grounded in reality.
Rule clarification, if we both get it wrong, do we get bonus points?
Soldier Simmons, it is my pleasure to now pin you, raising you from the rank of soldier to dedicated.
That didn't happen in the books, but it was awesome.
I nailed it.
I nailed that.
I nailed it. Let me bring you comfort about Egwene. I know you haven't seen her in a month, but let me tell you this story about how badass she is right now.
That fight scene, my boy went through 5 daggers.
Everybody's flower is different. I think we learned that in the books. This is I think for me, top 5 moments ever on screen.
When I read it, I felt empowered. I felt called to action.
One of the best quotes in the whole series is when Gaul says, "Do you like to dance, Baron Abara?"
The Knights Who Say Chill.
AKA the band of really, really nice good guys.
Let a couple more drip on.
Can you drip your chain everywhere?
I am.
Do you have a chaser should you need it?
Can I have a little bit of mine too?
Oh, no.
Yo, this is good.
Is
Young people do like this now or something instead of this.
Oh, it's like this.
The heart emoji.
Don't jiggle.
It folds. I like the way you wiggle. Oh, show. We're going to review the entirety of season 1 of the Wheel of Time. The whole thing. Finale of Rings of Power. Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show! Hello, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are back this week to talk about a sneaky major drop that they put at the end of episode 8 of season 1 last week. It was, I wonder how long it sat there, but there's a lot of fun little Easter eggs for Wheel of Time fans, that especially those that read the books, to dig into. We're talking Forsaken stuff, we're talking Dark Friend speculation, and that's what we're here to do today. We've got Tavern, my amazing co-host, and also Kevin Angus here for the first ever time, my fellow WatCon cheerleader, my mutual first ever WatCon cheerleader. It's really good to have you here today, Kevin. We usually let our guests introduce themselves, so please, you have the floor. Go ahead. It's
Perfect.
It's
Thank
all
you.
you.
And I usually need no introduction because I tend to precede myself a little bit with a lot of spaces, but to usually good effect, mostly because people know me on Twitter, the only name for that website, for posting, crazy things like Trollocs in like precarious positions, whether they're, in a hot tub or, it's just their nipple or like a Waygate made out of them as well. So, I have a lot of talents, and I make best use of them on Twitter to kind of goof around and have fun with all you guys. So that's mainly where people can find me. Other than that, I pop up on streams now and again. Lately, it's been a lot of fun, and I semi-regularly do podcasting with Rob of Malcure Talks. We do Lego Talks of Time, and we're planning on doing another episode coming up this Friday.
Nice.
So we'll be having those. So we do those on Rob's channel, and then I edit them and I put them on my own podcast feed for like the audio version if people want to, chill and hang out and do groceries or like clean the house while they're listening to us play with Legos. So that'll be on the Kevin Podcast feed and kevinpodcast.com. I'll drop links or something like that later, but I'm
Links
pretty
are
kind.
already in
especially
the
if you
description.
even look at Twitter. So you're so smart. This is like the most professional show I've been on so far. That's saying something. I've run the gambit.
We pride ourselves on
Statistically, the
professionalism.
most professional.
Wow. Statistically, the most professional. I don't know what we're judging that by, but sure, absolutely.
Kevin said it. That's all we need. We need one endorsement. We got it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Hello.
I said it.
Hello also to everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here. Zeusadai, I see you, one of my beloved members. We've got Brother Zachariah saying K to the E to the V to the I to the N. What does it give us? Kevin! Oh, because we're cheerleaders. That took me a little bit too long. Just like a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, Kevin Mundweiler, how have I not listened to your podcast? It's like Kevin supporting Kevin's. Where's that
I don't really
been?
talk about it. I'm really bad at self-promo, so I kind of rely on the kindness of others for anyone to see anything I do. So, I'm working on it.
Listen to the podcast. Okay, Tavern, why don't you go briefly introduce yourself?
I'm Tavern Tavern, and go watch cheer. Con cheer.
He's trying out.
I have a cheer. Rah rend, kick 'em in the dark, friend. Rah Trollocs, kick 'em in the bollocks. All right, we're good. That's my cheer.
Wow, we'll take that back to tryouts and consider it somewhat when the time comes.
And we need to get Kevin's podcast
DJ
here.
Nibbles will review the footage, yeah.
Dear God, don't send it to him. Okay, Tavern Tavern. I do a lot of merch. I have been cranking out quite a few things over the last week. That's on Redbubble. I have stuff on TeePublic. And then anything that has to do with the show, whether it be Wheel and Chill, Nights Who Say Chill, Tavern Arcade, which is another project that I'm working on that hasn't come out yet, and Squeed Eye, Jessica Squeed Eye's merch. It's all on Zazzle. Aside from that, I TikTok and I tweet a lot of crap.
That's true.
I do. I do.
Okay, well, thanks.
And apparently,
Tavern.
I have one friend. I have one fan.
Oh yeah, we were
One fan.
we were talking because Tavern before the stream said I have one fan, and I was like, who? not in like the no way that's true, but I was just wondering like who of all
That's
of
exactly how you meant
no,
it.
I know, but no, I wanted to know like who of everyone he like thought was the one, So, anyways, if anybody wants to claim that role, you're welcome to it. Hybrid Havoc on the Twitch chat says only fan, so maybe that's Hybrid Havoc claiming the spot.
Hybrid Havoc is my only fan.
God, that's the comment. I don't know. I'm gonna put it up. Oh,
Anyways,
gosh.
that's it for me.
I'm not trying to get demonetized here. Okay.
Let's not do that.
Hi, I'm Kritter XD. I do Wheel of Time and other fantasy TikToks primarily, but I'm also here on YouTube. And if you're not subbed yet, please, I would love it if you joined and subbed and liked the stream, because that really helps with the algorithm. And if you want Wheel of Time stuff to get pushed out into the universe, the algorithm is something that we have to deal with. I'm also Egwene Alvier on Twitter. I have a Discord that I would love for you to join me at. And I also sell merch on Redbubble and at New Creations by Jen. My logo, my cute little chibi logo, is at New Creations by Jen, and everything else that I designed myself is on Redbubble, so you should check it out. There was something else. Oh, yes. I agree about, I hate promoting myself, Kevin. It's like, it gives me such the ick, but I do want to promote something that isn't myself, which is the Entertainment Community Fund Strike Fund, where you can support the writers and the actors who are currently on strike fighting for their livelihood. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The writers and actors are the core, the heart of all of these works that we love, Wheel of Time included, and they're currently not getting paid right now for their normal jobs, or at least for one of their jobs. And so you can help them bridge the gap between paychecks by donating to these funds, of course, only if you have the means. So I just wanted to remind you of that, and I hope if I forget, somebody remind me to remind again, at least once by the end of the stream. I just want everyone to keep that in mind as they're going along. And also, anything you donate here tonight, I will put towards that. But if you want less fees to get taken out of it, if you don't want some of it to go to Google, you just go straight to entertainmentcommunityfund.org, which is in the description of this video on YouTube, as well as Kevin's deets, Tavern's deets, my deets, and Winespring's deets, who is not here tonight. So now that all that's out of the way, we did pretty good. That was less than 10 minutes of an intro. I mean, that's pretty efficient. It's
very professional.
Thank you. We like to.
Statistically, the most professional.
If you could be one thing, you should be efficient. One of my. Yes. So here we are. All right. So last week, right? What time did everybody find out? Like when it went down? This was on
9:30 for me. 9:30 Eastern.
Tuesday night of last week. So not Wheel of Time Wednesday yet. no one was expecting anything. So, Kevin, how did you find out the drop happened?
So I couldn't remember which one of us was supposed to be manning the account at the time, but the Tweeter of Chaos started liking, like, they liked 8 of my posts, and I was like, oh, that's a little strange. Like, 8 is a lot for, like, an afternoon, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But, then so I took a screenshot of it, and I shared it to one of my group chats. I was like, oh, it looks like they're active. Must be planning for, Wednesday. And then I saw someone else, the loneliest guy, Shine, post about it being exactly 8. I was like, oh my gosh, they're obviously doing something for August. That's the only logical answer is 8 for August.
I didn't even think about that.
and then I was put in my place by Bree and Celtic Mist of the Watch series crew, and they're like, no, go watch episode 8. There's something new at the end, and that was like 9:30 my time. So it was pretty wild to just all of a sudden be like, there's 8 likes. What does this mean? And like, oh, it means episode 8. Everybody go watch episode 8. So it was pretty wild.
Okay, so I didn't connect the 8 likes. Like, I literally saw the likes, I think the next day, because Jessica Sadai DM'd me or texted me. I think it was a text, but she was like, there's something at the end of episode 8. You have to go watch. And I was like, I was literally playing some video game. I don't even know what I was playing, but I was literally like, oh, it's this too much information, but it's this like pixel game, but it's a shooter, like a mass sandbox shooter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, wait a minute. You're playing the one that's like Battlefield.
But it looks like Minecraft. Yeah. Anyways,
it's
so
amazing.
I was playing that game with a couple of friends, and then Jessica texted me, and she's like, you could do a reaction. And I was like, I totally could. So that's what I did. And then like about this time, I was like pulling it up to do a reaction. Tavern DM'd me, and he's like, there's new stuff. And so, I didn't know about the likes until the next day. And then I saw that they had liked some of my posts, and they were so like, they went in like to my Kritter account, which is like, I talk about Wheel of Time, obviously, but my Egwene account is like Wheel of Time only. And they went into my Kritter account and liked posts. I didn't count them, but it was like maybe something about Taylor Swift, or like, it was literally benign. Like, why are they liking this? Where did this come from? And didn't put 2 and 2 together until like the next day when people were like, they were liking 8 posts each. It's like, oh, well, I'm dumb, but okay. Tavern, did you say how you found out?
So I was actually live on the Will Reads.
Oh, right.
I got invited there, and we were nearing the end of the show. My phone kept going off that I was getting likes. I was like, Talk is liking my shit. That's weird. Talk doesn't even like me. My shit. So
your one fan was really putting in work.
Apparently.
They're your one fan.
It kept going off. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. It kept going off, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And then somebody in chat posted that there was a drop at the end of the episode, and I was like, couldn't really talk about it because we were in the middle of doing something else. So the show ended. I said, I got to see what this is about. So I went over to Twitter and saw people talking about it, and immediately went and looked and watched it as I was on my phone texting Kritter.
Yeah. Oh. There's something out there.
Movement on the tree line. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I asked about this on Twitter, and we will get into the content of the stuff. We're just building up. We're leading up to. Okay, this is like a primer. We're talking in chronological order. I was speculating, like, I wonder if when this content got pushed is any indication about when the episodes are going to get dropped, right? Because you presumably content updates on the Prime Video app happen at a certain time every night, right? Granted, I don't think we're in football season yet, and that might change things. Because Rings of Power came out later than Wheel of Time did, because presumably it was like Thursday night football or whatever.
Yeah.
But this seems to have happened earlier than Rings of Power, because Rings of Power came out at midnight Eastern time, if I recall, and this was like presumably like 9 Central or earlier, probably, because we all noticed it about 9:30 Central. Or wait, no, you said 9:30 Eastern, so then it would have been 8:30 Central. So yeah, it's like
9:30 Eastern, yep.
So yeah, so that would have been even earlier. So I don't know, like that in my brain, I want to know what time the episodes are going to drop, how many are dropping, and like on what weeks. Are we going to get multiple on the first day and then one from then on? or like how's it gonna work? Because they change it almost always. Like Vox Machina, for example, was 3 per week, which was wild. and so I don't know. Yeah, like a lot of them change. So I don't know. I'm just if anybody thinks that that's significant, the time that the update was pushed, please tell me in the chat, because I think it was. I'm hoping it was. I want it to be earlier than 11 p.m. Central Time when the episodes come out. Kevin, do you have a prediction when it's going to happen? Obviously, it's complete. Well, I mean, for you, obviously, it's not complete speculation. You probably know, but let's pretend like you don't know.
Yeah, Twitter of Chaos.
I got small details. Yeah, I've got small inklings, small little birdies whispering in my ear. I personally do think it will be 3 and then going back to 1, because like you said, it does seem pretty random from show to show, but I feel like they're consistent within a show. Like all of Good Omens 1 and 2 were full drops the first day. I'd be curious to see. I think with Miss Maisel, it was always the consistent pattern as well. I didn't actually look at other shows with multiple seasons to confirm this, but I'm basing it off of that they're going to keep it consistent, do 3 and then 1 after. And yeah, I think if I had to estimate, like I probably was not the first person who found the drop. So if it was like maybe even as far back as like 8:30 Eastern time or 8 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. What's that? +5 that'd be 1 a.m. UK time, which is like it used to be like
midnight GMT.
I would assume it would be like midnight GMT. Yeah. So that would be an hour later from that technically, but it could have been there as early as 7 Eastern and
because I think last year we were getting 7:30.
Eastern.
Not
Sorry,
year, but
Eastern.
Year,
I'm like, I was like, no, it was like 6 o'clock or like 6:30 for me.
It was 7:30 Eastern.
Time zones are hard. I just want them to announce it. I feel like I'm trolling you, Kevin, because every time the Tweeter of Chaos posts, I'm always like, hey, what's up? What about the time though? Like, how many episodes? Let's talk about it. And they ignore me. Actually, one time they didn't ignore me, so they just said they couldn't say.
There will be a day, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. They like deflected.
Yeah, which was a good
really
meme.
Hard.
Whoever it was chose a really funny meme. Mm-hmm. They did the Logain with the 2 shadow puppets next to him. Like, you should tell them, no, I can't. So I like that.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they. I like that they responded. Good on them for that. Okay.
I'd like to see 2 episodes and then weekly after.
I know the slower
3 is too much.
Better. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love the show, but I want it to linger. I want to taste it. I don't want to just, not like my dog. I give my dog a snack, one of them chews it, the other one just swallows the whole thing, Yeah. I want to taste. I want to, give me some
savor.
Time with it.
It's savor.
Yes.
The word.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that. It's trademarked. It's trademarked by Snakes and Foxes.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, I'm all right. I would say Robert Jordan probably called that one a little earlier.
True. Yeah, but whatever.
All right, so let's talk about this clip. I have the whole video, but I'm not going to play it because, copyrights. But we can pull it.
Can't do that shit.
What?
Can't do that. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, that would
It's not a trailer.
It's not a trailer. We could get in trouble. So let's. I'm gonna pull up the video though, and then we can kind of just like, kind of like what we did with the trailer, where we just sort of like go through it and like see what it does slowly, and then we'll pull up some screenshots. Mm-hmm. Yes, Oaktown Brown over on Twitch says, "Embrace the savor, Tavern." I love that. I'm gonna pin that one.
Exactly.
It's exactly the vibe. Oaktown Brown also says, was just listening to Tarvel on After Dark and they shouted out Kevin a few times and I popped this open and here's Kevin. The Angus is everywhere. So true. He's everywhere.
They hate us because they Angus.
What can I say? Which episode?
Which episode
was that, by the way?
Is it the one where I was center folding?
All right, so I'm pulling this up. I gotta make sure I'm doing everything right and in order because this is.
Dusty Wheel in the chat. I see you.
The most professional. At the very least, I'm grateful that these are not dropping over the end of year. God, amen. Working on my reaction video edits on Christmas Eve until like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I get it. First world problems. Like, I get it. But it was like, why is this happening on Christmas Eve? I wish we could just, not have it over a holiday. All right. We're going to third person.
Yeah, that was tough.
Whoa, that is a little bit too zoomed in. So let me fix that real quick. Like it's really big, and then we're gonna watch.
That's what she's saying.
Wow, Remember what we
Listen.
talked about? Not getting demonetized? I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I didn't say
No.
it was bad.
know.
I said something way worse like a couple of minutes ago. So
I believe you. I don't remember what it was, though.
good. Let's keep it that way.
Okay. This is so wide. I didn't really anticipate it being this. Whoa. We lost Kevin.
Not saying it again.
Kevin vanished.
There.
Which is, so it's a really good time to pull this up, I guess.
It is. My head split into it is.
Oh, he's coming back. No, he's good. He's
There he
good.
is.
I'm back. Just a little,
Had to
just a
go
little
over.
flicker. It's alright, just a little flicker. Yeah.
Hey,
Flicker.
bubble of evil, it happens. We don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you,
don't.
Alex Lobo, for
Just a little
saying
one.
it, even though I wanted to say it.
What? What is
Second, that's what she said.
Oh.
Oh.
I missed it. I totally missed out
You
on
said,
that one.
you said, wow, this is so wide.
That one's a good one. I like that one a lot. All right.
That is a good one.
Speed. It's like, you know, I don't know, creative. All right. So, preview of season 2. This is apparently the first episode also, by the way, of season 2. Okay, is this playing? Oh, it's just going really slowly. Yeah. Okay. This is cuz I did it at 0.25 speed. That's my fault.
That's amazing.
That's actually my fault.
Of course.
Let's see. Okay, so we have this house. Did you This is too early. Did you guys see the dude on Twitter, and I can't remember his name, so if somebody remembers his name, please let me know, who speculated that the little girl that we're about to see is not a tinker, but she's from, where is it? Tenchico? She's from where the Black Aja house was. Was it Tenchico?
I think it was,
Oh, that wasn't Tenchico, yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess the way that the costume designers have kind of like broken out the regions,
I saw, yeah,
the
I
like
did see that.
Romani style of dress, which looks a lot like, I think it's Romani, a lot like what this girl is wearing, is for the Tenchico people, or whatever the name of the country. Terabon? No. Is that in Terabon?
Tenchicans.
The Tenchicans. That's how they dress. So like, you know, the
Tenchicans,
vests.
yeah.
We've got her in like this little colorful vest. It's really dark, so it's kind of hard to tell. I want to see if I can.
Are you thinking maybe a merchant's daughter instead of
The house that they're meeting in is the Black Aja house. And so the owner of the house is the woman that's hosting the Black Aja women, or does eventually host them. And her daughter is there because her daughter would be there because it's her house. Like, who brings their daughter to a Dark Friend social, you know? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
My thing is, how does nobody notice all of this crap in front of their house? You know what I mean?
I mean, what do you mean?
There's like a bunch of seals out front of the house.
Why would she not notice? Like, why are you suggesting?
No, what I'm saying is, who else? Like neighbors?
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, not hers. Okay.
I see what she was like. She obviously is gonna notice. Like, what do you mean?
We call them the children of the light witnesses that come door to door.
I managed to brighten
Those guys.
that. I see this outfit's great, and honestly, I kind of see it less as a tinker outfit because it doesn't clash that bad.
True.
That's true.
Thatcher said, I thought the costume designer said the Romani clothing was Amadisia. Okay. That might be right. But,
Which is, a lot of people were speculating that the house is an Amadisia, but...
Yeah.
Because of the star, yeah.
Yeah, because of the star. So, but no, yeah, it does not clash. There's actually a style to this outfit.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thought. Maybe she's not a tinker. Maybe her mom is Amadisian. Alex Lobos. Oh, go ahead. Tavern.
I was gonna say, I will say that at the table, she has something on her hands, and I don't know if it's like, we'll see the picture, but where her mom is sitting, I want to say it was almost like fur things on her hands.
Okay.
But I'm not sure, which would be kind of like tinkerish, because the tinkers wear whatever they can on their hands and stuff. But I don't know.
Okay. Question: has anybody else seen Almost Heroes? It's a Chris Farley movie
I have not.
from a long time ago. So you said she had something on her hands at one point in the movie. They like it's like oh my God, what are the guys who started it in St. Louis and went all the way to the coast? Help me out. The explorers. They like.
Lewis and Clark.
Thank you. It's like a Lewis and Clark tale kind of. Sorry, it's like a Lewis and Clark tale kind of. And like while they're going, they have like a guide or whatever, and they're all on this ship, and they see something out in the woods, and they're like freaking out about it. Everybody shoots at it and everything, and they miss. And then they realize, oh my god, it's only a squirrel. And then everyone kind of calms down for a second. And then somebody yells, it's got something in its hands. And then they all shoot again. So anyways, every time I hear somebody say something about having something on their hands,
Okay.
please tell me somebody else. Oh, Kevin Munweiler says that was his last movie too. I didn't know that. But
Oh, I didn't
it's
know
a
that.
That's
fabulous.
sad. Thanks for bringing us down,
No,
Kritter.
okay. All I'm saying is like,
Aw.
watch it because it's textbook Chris Farley. It's so good, and I don't know if it holds up. If there are racist jokes, I do not claim them for my own. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I loved it as a kid, including the something in his hands joke. Great. Yeah.
Coming right for us.
It's an iconic scene. Okay, so little girl eventually might have something in her hands. Noted. Okay, let's keep going. First spot of these fun seals. What? I don't know. What do we
Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. So these seals, we're gonna talk about them tonight because I feel like they're pretty exciting, pretty important. We have a Tavern?
I was gonna say the screenshots are better because they're
No,
brighter.
I know. We're not going to talk about it right
Okay.
now. We're just like going
Okay.
through the clip at this moment.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Especially because I feel like we can talk about the Dark Friends themselves. Oh, this quality is like, but it's fine because we can see the Trollocs eventually. The
They're
screen,
there.
they're there somewhere. There's a light. I brightened it up too, so we can see things
They're
a little
gray
bit better.
Trollocs.
They're gray Trollocs.
Like the gray men.
Oh, because they're there, but we can't see them
can't see 'em.
necessarily.
We always see your torches.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got
I
little
didn't
girl.
say they were good gray men.
Behind the girl, there are Trollocs. She turns around. OMG, a giant wave. I mean, Trollocs are coming for me. There they are. They're coming.
Why is stuff always rushing at children in this show?
I don't know, but also I'm
What is
like,
happening?
I guess Trollocs are kind of bestial, and so they wouldn't necessarily like follow orders like don't eat anyone here because we're having a dark friend meeting. But like, they
Yeah.
should listen, right? They should have not run
Shitty
for the girl.
bouncers.
Unless they were just trying to scare her,
Yeah.
which would be kind of mean. But I don't know.
No, he went head first into that door. I don't think he was trying to scare her.
Kevin, you're like the Trolloc guy. What do you think's going through their mind here?
I think that what they were doing is they were probably doing some kind of like patrol, and they came back and they're like, "Oh my gosh, our master left a treat for us. I mean, this is so
Snacks.
nice of him. Yeah, just a free little, a little treat." And they know how much they like sport. They like to run for their food. They like the thrill of the hunt. And
That's true.
Yeah, they just got their wires crossed a little bit.
Okay. They just got a
That
little overwhelmed. They got a little into it.
It's like that bowl of candy on Halloween that
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
leave out and
yeah.
says, "Just take one."
Marisu says the little girl turns her back on the
Trollocs can't
Trollocs.
read.
Terrible instincts. Trollocs can't read. Yeah, they missed the memo. So here he comes. Boom. So this is when we get some, like, honestly, I wasn't paying that much attention to what they were saying the first time I watched it because, like, little girl, dark friend social, panic, it's a meeting, whatever. So let's, I put it back on regular speed so we can listen. I'm going to turn it up slightly. A little more. Boop.
Now, one who walks the world, one who was and will be, but is not yet the dragon. Rand Althor, you release.
Was and will be, but is not yet the dragon. I guess because he hasn't drawn Kalendor. What do we think that means?
I mean, you got the prophecy, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten all the marks. He hasn't basically announced himself. He told Moraine, "It's me," but that's not the same as letting the world know that he's the dragon. I think it has to do with prophecy.
Okay.
And that's my 2 cents.
All right, Kevin, what do you think?
I think it's more about being proclaimed as such because I'm pretty sure he says something along those lines. It's pretty close to the words that he said in the book. I think it has to do with the fact that he might have started to fulfill them, and he is technically the dragon reborn, but he's not the dragon to the world until he kind of, whether it's floating in the sky or pulling Kalendor or whatever, however they choose to make that presentation for the show. I think that it's basically waiting for him to declare himself and start, moving the dominoes along.
Okay, I like that. Like he is, but he isn't to the world because he hasn't
it's
fully
like a halfway
accepted it.
point,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Light Blinded Fool, that sounds very familiar. I think it might be a quote from the books, possibly even during the Dark Front Social. Yeah, somebody actually pulled it up on Twitter, and it's like almost word for word, which is why I was making fun of the people in my comments on YouTube that were like, this is nothing like the books. And I was like, oh, are you sure? Maybe pick a different clip.
It's like a truncated version of what they say in the books.
Yeah. So Suroth here, presumably, right? Like, those are some long nails. Yeah. Looks like a lady. Yeah. Fancy clothes. We all pretty much in agreement that's her. Yeah.
I think the Dusty will kind of put enough of a seed of a doubt for me to question that it could be a red herring, but I think it's more likely that it's her. I mean, that's the easiest answer.
Yeah. And what's that saying? You know, the easiest answer is often the right one, or something. No, that's not Occam's razor.
Matchram's razor or something like that.
Matchram's razor. Yeah, exactly. We didn't miss anybody else. I'm gonna rewind it 10 seconds just to make sure. So there's a white cloak. Let's see. We've got bright colors.
One who was and will be, but is not yet the dragon.
It's not yet the dragon.
Rand Althor. You released
Suroth, maybe.
And he thinks he can hide.
Okay. That's a black gem, right?
Yes.
So they have a whole different ring that they like put on when they're doing sneaky shit?
It's got to be big enough to go over the gloves too, you know. That's an extra large ring size.
Yeah. So they wear two different ring sizes. It's a whole different thing. They don't just like pop the gem in and out because it's clearly got to be a different size. Let's see. Dusty Wheel. I tried to see doubt. I tried. Larry Daniels. May not be Suroth. Could be Wolverine. Good point.
We're getting Deadpool 3.
I'm open to it. You know, I'm open to being surprised by it still, you know.
You know, Game of Houses, like, Sean Chan are pretty sneaky people. She might send somebody in her outfit. So, you know, that's like not the worst prediction. I'll allow it.
True. Actually said something, Kritter. They might be able to pop the stone in and out because we know that they can take the stone out. And just because the ring portion of the part that goes on your finger is larger doesn't mean that the top is. So it's possible that the top is the same size so they can pop a stone in and out, or they just got a stone, you know, that they
I just meant like
they match their ring,
because presumably their other ring doesn't fit around a glove. It would fit around
I
their
get
actual
that.
finger.
No, I get that. What I'm saying, but I'm saying is they could. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really
matter.
Like
really thin. Look like really thin gloves, by the way.
It is interesting to me that they have like a whole different ring, or like at least a whole different gem. You know, they're fully claiming it, and so the question is, like, in the trailer, people are speculating that Leandrin is like denouncing her Red membership and like getting rid of her ring, maybe in the vat, as if she's not destroying evidence of her murdering a different Aes Sedai. We'll see. And so, is this just an official replacement? Or do they have multiple that they're like, oh, well, when I'm being a bad guy, I have a different ring. What do you think, Kevin? Do they all have different rings? Or is it only when they're officially not their other Aja anymore?
I think that I like the idea of them dressing for the occasion, having like them. And I like the idea of like a sitcom style where someone wears the wrong one to dinner or something like that. Just something silly. So I think there's more room for comedic moments if they have two. So I'm going to go with that.
Oh my gosh, I got some soot on my ring. Excuse me. I have to go into the other room and clean it off.
Oh, sorry. It was that squid ink pasta, you know, just kind of
squid ink pasta.
The cuttlefish, isn't that what it's called? The one that has the black ink.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters which way the snake is facing? I mean, it literally depends on which way you put the ring on, really. But
I don't know. Are you trying to think like, oh, can I tell who this is based on the way they wear their ring, or?
It's possible. I did notice, okay, so whoever this person is does something very nervous with their hand. They move their hand around, and I was literally about to go back through the season to see if anybody has nervous tick.
Interesting.
Thing.
Well, whenever we get Winespring back in here, she's all about the hand stuff.
Yeah.
She probably just knows on instinct.
She would have noticed that.
Yeah,
she would have
immediately.
noticed that off the bat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, C Sting 777. What if stones in the Sherbet rings display color based on the sole core belief of the wielder? So no stone, while accepted, then a Terran Grial stone is bestowed on raising, which portrays so it's like instead of like a mood ring, it's like a vibes ring. That's interesting. I mean, it's fun. Like, it is fun.
It's fun, yeah.
RBF ring.
Yeah. 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 Okay, so somebody, Black Godjaw, wearing sequins. We don't love to see it, but it's interesting.
We are to kill him.
Yeah.
Perhaps he can be turned to my youth.
Did anybody have a guess?
He released the
Listen to the girl voice.
And he thinks he can hide. He cannot.
We are to kill him.
Oh, yes.
Okay, no, that was a dude. That wasn't a girl. Just kidding. I didn't recognize it.
For the Are We to Kill Him?
Yeah.
It does sound like a woman's voice, I think.
Okay, one more time. We're going to listen to it again. I'll turn it up.
Hear it.
I know you can't. You gotta watch YouTube. Okay.
Rand Althor. He released me at the eye of the world. And he thinks he can hide. He cannot.
We are to kill him.
Perhaps.
Okay, maybe like a deep woman's voice.
Huskier.
A huskier woman's voice. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it sounded like a woman.
Yeah, almost like a Tarian accent. Like, it almost sounded like a Sophie Okonedo accent. Obviously not her, but it almost kind of sounded like her.
Yeah. I heard some people were scared by potentially being Swan, but there was some voice analysis going on Twitter, and I think the one that convinced me the most was it being Karima McAdams, so Suroth, because it does sound more American style speech pattern. Like, it doesn't sound as fantasy, like British, which would be fitting with Sean Chan having a slightly different accent as well. So that's where I am keeping my peace. But I've heard other Aes Sedai speculations that maybe one of them said a red or a brown or a white, depending on which ones you might think are there. But
this is typical what they do with these things, where they show you one thing and the sound or the voice you hear may not even be attached to that one thing you're watching. Kind of like what they did with the whole trailer, where there's something inside you, calling for blood or whatever, and they had like 3 different scenes happening while it was saying it. So yeah, a little bit of misdirection for sure.
Yeah. Okay. People are thinking it's a woman. Yeah. All right. Okay. My bad. I made a little mistake. And the irony is, like, I have kind of a deep voice for a woman, so I'm like, no, it's a dude. No, it's clearly a woman. Like, what are you, the people calling my house when I was a kid? Like, excuse me, sir. No, I'm a little girl. What are you talking about? Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, people are speculating about the ring. I love it. Let's keep going.
My use. Sooner or later, it will be so.
Ooh. Do we think this is Ingtar?
Oh, I mean...
Oh, yeah. Spoilers for the Great Hunt. I hope it's clear. I've got a little banner along the side. So, spoilers. Like, big spoilers. Right, because the Shinaran sigil is a hawk in flight?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. I originally thought it was Mayan because I was like, oh, that's the only hawk I can think of off the top of my head. But then like 20 people jumped in my comments were like, no, it's Shinar. They have a black hawk on theirs, just so you know it's Shinar. Don't forget, Kev.
Oh my God, Kevin. Wow. How did you not know?
It's Shinar.
behind your nipples and read. Kevin.
I love it. I love when I get corrected on the internet. It's one of my favorite
I didn't
things.
mind. It was funny.
No, honestly, when I'm wrong, like, please, by all means. But it's the, well, actually, and then people saying stupid shit that is annoying. But that was
and
right.
And the people who don't realize that they're, like, the 10th person to comment. Like, 2 other comments.
Yeah, nobody looks at the other comments. Nobody ever looks at the other
Hey, you know what? That's okay, though. All interaction is good, right? All press is good press. So,
that is correct.
That's true.
John Meyer says, I need to hear one of the Sean Chen say, "Will butter my butt and call me a biscuit," just once, because they're supposed to have some kind of Southern accent. I don't think they will, but they might.
I don't think they're going to, which sucks, because I think it would make it too comedic. But yeah, I would love it. I mean,
we'll see. Yeah, there could be many Sean Chen accents.
Ingtar.
Facts.
I'm saying yes, this might be Ingtar. It depends on when this takes place. So we're assuming this is a cold open, which is when they do flashbacks and they do all kinds of stuff in the show. So this could be well before the group gets to Faldara, right?
maybe, but he knew
don't
that
know. That's
he
the thing. We
well
don't know
he
when.
knew that it was Rand, right? The mystery was alive about
Oh, yeah,
who
it's
it
post-
was.
yeah.
It's got to be post Eye of the
Okay.
World.
Okay, so
Yeah.
But if it's it's post out of the world, Ingtar would be with the group.
Well, they get teleported in, like, and not necessarily. There is a time jump. Remember?
I know, that's what I'm saying, and so it just depends on where he's at. That's why I'm a little curious as to where he's at and when this took place, because if it's after they identified it, which we know now, right? Because they just said, yeah, it's Randolph Thor. When does this take place?
Yeah.
And if it is after and he's already hunting for the horn, at what point did he sneak off?
Well, they didn't leave for the horn right away. What I'm saying is it might be
True.
happening like
Yeah.
between, like in the time where Lan is training Rand up on. Obviously, that's not how it's going in the show, but like that time jump before they leave to hunt the horn. Maybe.
And you're right. They did have the merge all teleport Boris in and out. We saw that happening. So I didn't even think about that being how they got in, but that makes sense.
Gateway that bro in. All right. So Kevin Mundwile, good point. We've heard Turok speak. He didn't have the drawl. He had the classic fantasy, mild English accent. Turok
His
did.
is closer to it. Yeah. You're right.
So, but they could all have different accents. Like the Shanchan are a diverse people. So who knows? It might be like a nobility difference, right? Like
Sarath as a Southern belle.
Terrible. No.
It would be amazing.
Okay, let's.
I think that it's most clever though if it is her though, because we won't hear her talk because she has a voice, because the voice does the speaking for them. So we won't be able to like do a voice match until like maybe see episode 8 because she won't speak before that point.
So
and that's why they have voices, because the entire nobility of the Shanchan talk like this, and they just sound stupid when they open their mouth.
Well, yeah, Robert R. has a good point. Kate and Michael adapted the Shanchan accent really well. They did the slow, they did the slur, but they didn't go quite Texan. Although Rosamund Pike did a really beautiful job with them, and she did go a little more, if I'm remembering right, a little more twangy, like a little more American. And I think she did it in a way that was not comical. It was just good.
I agree.
So, it's possible, but the Wheel of Time as a show might just be like, we're not gonna throw in a random Southern accent into this mix. Like, people will riot if they don't know what's coming. So yeah, all right, let's keep raging. I kind of want
the pattern on that, though.
I was gonna say, like, did you? Okay, so I don't think she's in the chat right now, but Rebecca reading the pattern had such a sick Tinker costume for WotCon, and it was like, I want to say it was like a red like this kind of, and it had like beautiful patterns on it, and to me it didn't like clash, which in my mind that's like necessary for a Tinker's outfit. This is just like fun and cool, I think, and hers was like that too. So if it is a Tinker, I understand.
I will say that reviewing the Tinker footage from season 1, somebody else said this on Twitter. There is one spot during the scene where Egwene is dancing with the Tinkers. In the very bottom center of the screen, you see a skirt flare out that does have that same pattern that's on the red. The rest of the skirt isn't the same, but the material is the same.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting, but you only see it swirl onto the screen for like a split second. But that's the only thing I saw. So not being a Tinker, possibility.
I love the Wheel of Time fandom.
Sorry.
let me rewatch like every scene that has a Tinker in it and see if like there's any crossover. Like I love
It's a great idea, yeah.
I love it. I think it's fabulous. I mean, I admit, I'll be the first to admit that I take advantage of a lot of people where I'm like, has anyone figured this out yet? I like you, like whenever you figured out the old tongue, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
She sent out a thing, I need help, and like, what was it, like a couple minutes later, it says this.
Yeah, it was like, Pavara, please help me, and then
you
guys all figured it out. So well done, thank you all in advance for every time I'm like, help me, and you help me. I love you guys
like
for that.
puzzles.
Yeah, I love that. especially because it often happens on Wednesday, and I'm usually in my office at work on Wednesday, literally just like dying. Things are happening. I can't do anything. I don't have access to the companion. But no, you guys are great. You always figure it out. Okay, so Ishii, right here.
Ishii.
We like. Why is he so charming? Anybody else like fully wooed by this guy?
He's so smooth. I want to grow my beard back.
It makes you realize that we
Just
didn't
so I
get to
can
hear
use-
enough of him.
Yeah. Facts. Like in season 1.
Yeah, like we just didn't hear enough of him just getting to just kind of monologue or talk. Like, I want more of it now because he's so good.
Even in season 1, his demeanor is very, very calm, very unlike what I was picturing in my head in the books, right? Where he was like, roar. And it's just so amazing. He's doing such a great job.
So
there's that stupid ring of his.
I'm trying to think, like, give me a. I'm about to say something, but there's going to be a book spoiler in it. I don't know what book though. So if you're like past book or not past book like 6, close your ears for a second.
I might be Crown of Swords, maybe.
You know what I'm talking about then?
I think so, yeah.
All right, so just for like 30 seconds, I want to say something, and then you can come back. Okay, so this is Moradin. This isn't Ishamael, like in behavior, I think. Like Moradin is the monologue king. He's the I'm gonna tell you how I feel and how it relates to the philosophy of the wheel and like all this other shit, and this is what he's doing. Like, so I'm thinking we're skipping over Crazy Ishii, like completely, because that's how he was in season 1 too. Are you feeling this? Is this, we're not gonna get Crazy Ishii at all?
I can see that because we didn't get insane Padan Fane either.
Well,
maybe that's the descent. Though. Maybe we'll see the descending of it more often.
That would be awesome.
They might. I do kind of run a similar mindset where I kind of expect we're gonna lose Faris after this season, maybe even for a time. But maybe he could come back as himself instead of the later shenanigans. I mean, that's something I'm open to, but. Yeah, I mean, maybe as he gets more desperate, or he has to, resort to more desperate means of using the true power or whatever, we see the cracks that maybe he's hiding pretty well.
Okay, yeah, so we get like hints of the fact that he is not exactly well. I kind of like that. Lee Science, Tiara of Swords. I think they're going for a more linear progression of insanity for him and Padan Fane. Yeah, Padan Fane in this clip looks way more unhinged than he does, and so we can
which I'm loving because one of my his roller coaster character arc is probably one of my favorites in the book, because he's basically the Gollum of the Wheel of Time, and he goes through some crazy ass shit, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to see that in the show, and I haven't seen it yet, so fingers crossed.
I think so. Okay, we got a super chat.
There's plenty of time.
Robert R, it'll pop up here eventually, but Robert R just thinking out loud, but that kid is way too familiar with her surroundings not to be living there. John from What Up thinks it's Amadicia. Okay, yeah, I agree. I think this is this kid's house, whether it's in Amadicia or wherever. This kid's a dark friend. Or at least her mom is. And I guess the question is, do we...
It's convincing. It is convincing.
Yeah, I agree. And thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. All right, well, let's keep going on this clip. We've got...
Jimmy, we're in the middle of a meeting.
Like, for a second, though, we're in the middle of a meeting. I just want to hug that guy. Like, what?
So good.
Why do I like him?
I run meetings all the time at work, and I would never be like that. Just saying. He's way better at his job than I am at mine.
Something outside.
Something outside.
Stop, perhaps. Come on.
While we're cruising through this, don't forget to hit the like button.
Oh, thank you.
It's right there under the video. Smash it. Like button if you like the show.
I am so glad, by the way, that the short person in the trailer turned out to be a little kid. Like, actually, because it's like the speculation was like, who is it? Like there was so many wild theories that I just think this is the best one. This is the best solution, where it's the daughter of a dark friend who's probably going to be a dark friend herself. They're everywhere.
What was the kid assassin?
I I mean, I guess technically that could still be true. Like, it could be.
Oh yeah, but what's her name?
Millie Skane? She was
Yeah,
like a
Millie
kid.
Skane.
She's not a
She was
kid.
like a teenager,
yeah,
though, right? Wasn't she?
She was a noble woman.
She's a grown woman.
Right?
Was
Or
it?
she
She's a
was
grown
she was
woman.
she was impersonating a noble woman. Right? That's how
Yeah.
that yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe she takes this one under his wing and kind of raises the child in a dark manner.
Well, yeah, Alex Lopez was saying he's basically like grooming the kid in some
Yeah.
way to be a dark friend, which is
Mhm.
terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, so we're about to get the creepy Fane
Are you-
moment. Oh, Kevin, go ahead.
Are you
Spanking his
disappointed that
limit.
it's not like a Deadpool Ryan Reynolds regrowing body style, like that's baby Lanfear growing into her adult body? Are you just, like,
God.
upset that
I
that's
am-
that's not on the table.
I'm not disappointed.
If that's the case, I'm glad she's not no panting it, because that would have been awkward.
Oh God,
Oh,
that
really?
part of that
Oh, my
movie.
That was the best. That was so good.
s-
Oh, you're just gonna no pants this, huh?
Yeah. Good times. All right, let's see Fane being creepy.
Let's yeah.
People call me monster too, you know,
Let's move on.
along with a litany of other unflattering names. Father of lies, betrayer of hope, forsaken.
Forsaken. So was this did you think they were gonna keep like stringing along this guy's the Dark One thing like into infinity, or did you think it was inevitable that this was gonna get revealed sooner rather than later?
I thought it was revealed at the end of season 1.
Well, accidentally in the subtitles. Like, it wasn't official, and then I think they changed it. And then in the same way that didn't they post, wasn't he one of the cosplay options or something? And they called him
He was.
Ishamael, and then they
Ishamael.
deleted that
Yep.
too. So it's like, were they trying to hide it all along, or what is going
Doesn't
on?
Moraine say it? Doesn't Moraine say it?
No, not in season 1.
Something about
She
his,
says it
his-
in that one bonus reel though, where she's like, "We didn't kill a dark one. We set his strongest
Strongest lieutenant,
Lieutenant.
free.
lieutenant
Yeah.
free or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever." Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
knew I'd heard it somewhere.
But then they change that. That's not the line in the official trailer. So they're like, "Oh crap, we got to pull that out as well."
Yeah, that's what I mean. So finally in this, at least for people who know where to look, it's official. But
I'm
I
in love
don't.
with that nose.
Yeah.
I'm in love with that.
That's a good nose,
It's
I
a
mean.
great nose. His voice is silky smooth. I completely agree. Yeah, it's a fun one to listen to, and his hair is fabulous. Like, look, this guy, he's so likable. why is he Ishamael?
Do you know why they call me and the other chosen?
I mean,
such
it just
hideous
shows us
things?
why they were the chosen
No.
back in the
Because if
day.
they called me what I
You know,
was,
they were leaders. They were
Style.
well known. Yeah.
Okay, there he
They
is.
had swag.
Padan Fane, man. Like,
He's so like when he starts leaning forward as they're walking.
and grinning, that creepy, crazed, like feral grin that he has. Like, we can keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
And the fact that he's not afraid to show his face.
that's a great point.
The
Like,
Dark
this,
Friend Social.
yeah. Happy
0 F's given.
Absolutely 0 F's. I am no dark friend. I am beyond. Like, I am my own thing. Which is so good. Like, it's perfect. And yeah.
And
Yeah.
nobody turns their head when he does it. Nobody moves when he
Right.
does it.
But he's basically like jumping out of his chair.
Yeah, it's almost like a fourth wall kind of thing. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Don't worry, Tavern. I have a full thread on Twitter about it. Don't worry.
Oh, really? Okay, what's
You can enjoy it
TLDR?
after the show.
Or
Oh yeah, I
or-
did
will.
actually. Yeah, yeah, I did
Well,
actually.
tell
Yeah,
us.
we can...
I mean,
Break it down
don't
for
read
us.
the whole thing, but if you have like a synopsis, I'm interested.
I can spark notes it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so as a refresher, in these Dark Friend meetings, they usually have the attendees frozen in place and they cover their eyes and ears until it's their time to get instructions. So
That's true.
presumably they're all bound and facing straight ahead when, you know, he decides to interrupt the meeting to go handle the little girl. No one notices her come in either or shifts when she enters the room for the same reason. So but
sure forgot
Fane,
about that.
I think that by having the dagger, even if it's not, you know, strong enough to melt Loyal, which I'm thankful for, it's strong enough to make him able to resist the Dark One's touch. That's kind of got him on leash, so he's able to break free from the control with the power of the dagger with him. And he wants Matt to be healed from it, so it has its full powers back to him.
Right.
So he exchanges the dagger maybe at the social before or after with Leandrin to get the rest of the juice out of Matt and then get the dagger back to him, and that's part of like his arc for the season.
It's funny because I said there's one of the shows we did. I was saying that Matt gets to Falma one of two ways: either it's taken there by Leandrin, or he does the Bail Doman thing. Because I'm assuming he's going to show up at some point in season 2. I think he's just going to show up in Falme after his boat's been captured by the Shanshin. He's going to be there. But yeah, it makes total sense. I like that. I like it a lot.
I like it too. It's he's compelling. He's a good character, and I like the fact that they're like bringing him along. And I'm curious if we'll get the whistle and everything like we did in season 1, or if we're gonna move past that. All right, let's.
It would be funny if these are all mannequins except for Fane.
Yeah, because they're just not moving.
They're just not moving.
Except for I guess the Black Ajah's finger twitched or whatever.
Well, yeah, but they could film that anyway.
Yeah, that was a close up. Okay, we'll keep going.
Bunch of mannequins.
Hate that look. It's a terrible look.
After all, how do you prove you're not a monster?
Kevin, I want to ask you something. In the moment you found out that Trollocs were going to be up close and personal in this video, how did it make you feel?
It was a complicated emotion because I was toying with reactivating my Amazon Prime account so soon ahead of the premiere because of course people got expenses. You can't pay for things all year round.
Yeah.
So I was having the moral dilemma. I was like, all right, do I wait until someone posts it somewhere, or do I just watch it now? And then I started getting tags of like, oh, there's Trollocs in this, Kevin. You need to watch this like immediately. And that sold it for me. And then I was like, all right, I got work to do. I put my business suit on for the evening, and I sat down to work to get screenshots, to get them out fast as quickly as possible, because I knew there was people were expecting to see them, and sometimes you have to deliver.
I was gonna say,
set that kind of expectation. And
do you ever feel like so it seems like you do have like a pressure, like if there's anything that involves Trollocs, you're like, okay, this is my time, like I have to do this, otherwise people are gonna be like, what's wrong with Kevin? That's the vibe.
Time to milk the teats,
more or less. Okay,
a little bit, and it's like I kind of think of it like jazz, sometimes with jazz it's about the notes that you don't play. So sometimes it's about the posts I do that don't have Trollocs that make the impact. But people are always looking for the hidden Trolloc nipple or whatever. And
that's true.
So by keeping them guessing about when it's coming, I keep the game entertaining for me long term, or else this bit would have ran its course months ago.
That's good.
And it probably should have, but I pace myself. And,
as long as it's fun for you.
And I don't give in to every request.
Yeah, no, I think as long as it's fun for you, then do your thing. But yeah, I can imagine every time there's a Trolloc, it's like you're definitely getting mentioned in tweets. And that's got to be, there's some pressure there.
I get tagged in the weirdest tweets, the things you'd never imagine that people would tag me in. And I don't want to, I'll never discourage it, because I think maybe like one out of every 10 is like, oh yeah, I got to make something.
That's a
with
keeper.
This. And then the other 9, I'm like, I'll give him a like. I'll acknowledge him. I appreciate the effort, but that's a no. That's a no. Though.
I'm gonna pass. No. Maybe next time. Okay, I love it.
Once you stop having fun and it feels like a job, you don't want to do it anymore.
It's true. Yeah,
exactly.
you want to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I was just curious
interrupt
about that. Oh, okay.
The stream for a second.
Keep it fresh.
I remembered I had this this post-it that I got from Brandon Sanderson's crew when I got my book signed. I don't know if you can see or read this.
Absolutely not. It is like bright white.
Okay. Anyways, it's a little dude on a stool.
Oh, okay.
With a quill and a thing on his lap, and it says, "Dream big, idiot."
Cute.
I just thought it was cool. I'm gonna keep that. It's from the Brandon Sanderson crew.
Show and tell with Tavern. Love that. Wow. Okay. Oliver Zier says Kevin needed to nip it in the bud.
Wow, nip it. That was good.
right,
That would get a like.
That would definitely get a like. Did you hear that? Well done. Okay, we gotta finish this clip so we can talk about the Forsaken.
How do you prove that the things you do are good or evil? Right or wrong? Look at this creature. Part man, part animal. It's so hard to be something between.
Imagine just getting like a bedtime story read to you by this guy. Immediate sleep, right? Like immediate. Okay, let's keep going.
Is the Trolloc there or not there?
Either.
What if he isn't evil? What if he isn't wrong? What if he's just hungry?
This is the moment I was like, oh, he's gonna feed her to the Trolloc. Anybody else have that instinct? What if he's just hungry? What is that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
I think it's still a possibility.
Look at me.
By the end of the
Don't
Dark
know.
Friend Social.
We don't know what happens.
No. No.
I knew I liked you.
She definitely answered the right answer there, because that was probably the difference maker between being the snack. Yeah.
It's a perception roll right there.
You see, it's all right. Come on, you try.
What little kid is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna pet this Trolloc? Okay, so do we think they are, do we think the whole Trolloc is practical effects, but then they CGI the facial expressions? I'm like trying to figure this out practically. Like practically.
Well, the only thing, I mean, the only expressions I really saw were in the eyes.
No, the cheeks.
Oh, well, in the forehead. Yeah. No, that's all practical.
Oh yeah, the movement. Yeah.
I think it's practical.
Maybe they enhance some of the movement stuff to make it look a little bit more smoothly, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's like 90%, if not more, practical.
Yeah, mainly. I think it looks really good. I was just curious if they like snuck in some CGI, because he does do some like movements that I'm like, what are you like? Do you have that tied to a string? Like, how are you doing that? I don't know. All right.
The shot after this, where they show him from behind.
Yeah.
I think is CGI.
Really?
They show the whole. I think they show the whole body.
You try.
And the legs are really skinny, and there's. I know these guys wore
giant suits,
but I don't know if you'll see here in a second.
Okay. You think that is
right?
CGI?
It's possible. I mean, the legs are super skinny, but then again, they've done a lot with the prosthetics for stilts nowadays.
Well, yeah, I think the entire bottom. Let me use this. I think
like
this
his feet
whole,
are right.
No, I think this whole section is a stilt, and these are where his feet are. Yeah, or maybe maybe they're like, oh god, maybe they're like heels.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like like this is his foot angled at this like weird heel. Like, have you seen the heel Crocs?
Yeah,
it's kind of got the same shape.
Oh yeah.
As that.
I almost bought myself a pair.
Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, they're pretty fabulous. Okay, so we are pretty much done. So we have so much better quality screenshots, and I think we've been promising Forsaken chat. We haven't talked about Forsaken, so it's I think it's time to talk about the Forsaken.
Let's do it.
Let's rage. Okay, so for a bit of background, let me pull this up, and oh wow, that is not okay. We're gonna pull this up better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, boop. Now let me zoom in. So it's way bigger than this because that's so small. And we can talk about it. So speculation is, and Tavern was one of the leading parties in this Twitter speculation. Speculation is that these symbols on this, I'm actually going to just boop. I'm going to get this. We're going to get real close. Yeah. I'm going to get as close as makes sense. I guess we technically don't need the little girl in the frame either. Sorry, little girl.
She's already been eaten by the Trollocs, so we're good.
Yeah, we've seen her. Okay, so as you can see, there are different designs in these, sorry, I'm in the wrong place, in these quadrants of this sigil. We've got the ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai in the middle, and then around this, you can see, this one looks like a lady part. We're going to say vagina. It's a medical term.
Lady.
This one looks like
looks pretty sexual.
This one looks like a spider, right? Tavern pointed out that this one looks like a musical instrument, and I totally agree. So we're talking Forsaken, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what's happening here. These are the possibly associated with the seals, which we saw at the end of episode 8. And whenever they break, a Forsaken gets released, right? That's the vibe. So Tavern, like you know, walk me through your
like
thought.
a piñata.
Walk me through your thought process here, and of course, like
Okay.
you know what you uploaded. So if you want me to pull something else up, just let me know.
Oh, we're good. Okay, so I think Bree on Twitter broke the last bit of this for me. Originally, I went by the statuettes that we got in episode 4 of the first season that Stepan had.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going by the designs there. Some of them were pretty obvious. The 5 o'clock there is definitely, I mean, looks like a musical instrument. So we're thinking, you know, Asmodean. The vagina clearly would be Grendel. At least that was my thinking when I was going through this. I had some different things to start off with. So Lanfear was the baseball-looking thing, which looks like moons to me, which would be about 10 o'clock on the wheel. And then it really got a little crazy for me because I thought that Masana was I think, what's the one with the weird, is that Semiraj or Masana with the weird, okay, so I thought that Masana was like the 4 o'clock or the 3 o'clock over there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the headpiece looks just like the headpiece on the little statuette.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I went off of. And then you have the one right above that at 2 o'clock. I thought was Ishi just because this statue had all of the open orifices with the lines coming out of it to denote the fire or the forges in his eyes and his mouth. And then you had Magi up there with the spider, and I went with Samael as the top at like the 12th point because of the little things on his collar on his statuette. So after going through all that, that's what I thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until there was some discussion about what was where, and I was like, I'm not a pro at this. I'm guessing just as much as everybody else. Then Bree kind of linked the statuettes to the fan art. I wish I remember the artist that did it, but I think they were on DeviantArt. Really good art for each Forsaken, and they started kind of matching. And I was like, okay, that makes more sense. So if I remember correctly, starting at, let's say, 6 o'clock down at the bottom, Grendel, and moving clockwise. So Grendel, I think she has Ishi as the next one, which is right in front of the little girl there.
Mm-hmm.
Lanfear, Moghedian, I forgot who is up there at the top. They're trying to say
that would be Demon Dread is the top one.
Okay, Demon Dread. Okay, thank you. And then the one next to that at the 2 o'clock, Samael, because it looks like a bee.
Oh wow, that does.
There's also 9 little. There's like 9 bits in the middle because I compared it to Tam's armor as well. It was like the same kind of formatting.
And I was a little off at the. I mean, I was like, I wasn't sure because in my head I'm thinking, why would they match it to what happens in the books, right? As opposed to a symbol from the Age of Legends for them. But I had to get my head around it, and it was okay. They're doing fan service here, where they're giving us little clues. So yeah, I mean, Samael, and then you have Semiraj at the 3 o'clock, and then that would be Asmodean, like I said before, at the 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's also other things that I can't figure out. Like for example, around the old ancient Aes Sedai symbol, the inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if that's Old Tongue or not. It's hard to see, but it's possible.
It looks like repeating curlicues, kind of, to me. It doesn't look like text.
Okay, so if you go to the 12 o'clock position on that circle, right? To the right, you clearly see that backwards C. right, which looks like a curlicue.
Yeah.
You go to the left of 12 o'clock, it looks like an R. Just past it. So there is a difference. And if you go to like the 5 and 4 o'clock, it's even more different. So that's why I really couldn't tell what's happening there. It might be a repeating thing. But again, it's so hard to tell. It's really almost impossible to tell at this point. And then I want to say something around the outside lip of the seal. There's some symbology there that looks like it's not repeating.
They almost look like Norse runes, but obviously that would
they do.
A little bit, yeah.
Anyways, that's where the circle came from, and the only reason I looked at that is because I remember the seal that he was standing on in the show. I was like, man, that looks an awful lot like that. And then I zoomed in, and I was like, yep, they're all different. There's 8 of them. And we'd already speculated that there was going to be 8 Forsaken because of the 8 statues.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of trying to identify them. And again, by no means did I think I had it right the first try, but I was trying to identify which was which.
So, yeah, we can see this is pretty zoomed in, but in the shot where Rand accidentally freed Ishii, it goes over this like wonky, this like crazy looking one. The like, it looks pretty wild, I guess, which makes sense for Ishii, and then Ishii gets freed. Yeah, that checks out, I think. Like,
yeah, and they're going off of Ishii being that one because that's where he was standing. I'm not gonna refute this theory at all. I'm not sold on it completely. It has a lot of merit, but.
Well, I think where the shatter is collected is also pretty compelling evidence, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's where he was
shattered
standing.
Right there. Right.
He was standing there.
So both of those things like point to that's where he was being held.
If there is meaning behind this, then yes, absolutely.
And there
there
is one other detail too that's
go ahead.
Yeah, so like they are all identical except for the orientation of the tear and the fang. So in the Rand shot, the dragon's fang is pointing, like the tip ends at where the Ishamael point would be as well. So this would be his seal. And I think I remember Koala Sedai last night on the Dusty Wheel saying, or yesterday afternoon rather, saying that the Flame of Tarvalin tip points at Lanfear's sigil for the one that's on the ground. So that's indicating that it would be Lanfear being freed from that particular seal.
Agreed. If we go, I'm trying to think. If we see if you can find the shot of like the group of seals, it should be like seal 2 or something to that effect.
The group of seals.
In the folder, it should be titled seal 2
here.
or.
No, that's just the
Is
one.
it? Oh, okay, go to
the one with the Trollocs standing. Yeah. This.
Okay, right there. Zoom in on that top left seal.
There's multiple. The furthest left.
Yeah. Oh, those
Whichever
two. Zoom in on those two. Yeah. Actually, no. It would have to be both of them.
Okay.
Because I want to point something out, and as soon as it pops up on YouTube, so I can actually see it, because I'm blind.
I'm making it bigger.
Okay, so
it's really hard to make out the symbols here.
No, that's fine. I don't need the symbols.
Okay.
We don't need the symbols. So on the one on the right, you see the ancient Aes Sedai symbol, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's the one where the fang is basically the tip of the fang is right over Lanfear, right?
You mean you look at the flame
on the one on the ground?
No, the one right there on the right hand side.
The one, yeah, the one on the ground.
No, I'm not on the ground.
Well, no, Lanfear's is on the ground already.
Well, then this is what I'm saying. That's why I'm not sure about that whole theory, because the one that's standing up right there, you see the fang, and it's right above Lanfear's symbol on the right-hand side. If you look at the one on the left, the fang is on one of the spikes, not even on a symbol at all.
Which means that it's more likely pointing to the female side, because if it's pointing to a spike on the male side, yeah, it's probably a female one.
So the female side would be, let me see, if I can identify over there, which one's which.
Which one are you looking at?
Okay, right now I'm looking at the one on the left. So if it's the female side, see, it's weird because it almost looks like it's on one of the spikes too. I'm going, okay, we have to go through the middle. So I'm trying to find something that pops out. I think they're in the same orientation, actually. Well, almost the same orientation.
I think what I had originally thought, and this was before I considered that the where the seal itself was pointing, or the Aes Sedai symbol was, is that whichever one was facing downwards was whoever's seal it was, but that might not.
Well, yeah. So you see underneath the seal, they have that thing that's holding it on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a notch. There's actually a notch in the center of those. If you look at the one that was on the ground, you can see it clearly, and that's why I was thinking, okay, whatever the notch is on is what it may be, but I could be completely and utterly wrong there. But like I said, this one looks like, I mean, I'm looking at it now, it's not really the tip of the fang or the flame, it's the center of the seal, and the center of the seal is where, basically where the chunky bits of the flame and fang are, right?
Oh my gosh, how am I just now noticing that this fell off?
Fell off.
It fell off its little pillar. Like it was on a pillar and it fell.
Yeah, that was the one on the ground. Right.
I thought it was just on the ground. Like I thought it was like, this is Lanfear's area, and so it's on the ground where Lanfear is. Like wow, I feel real good about myself right now.
So they're all on a cradle. And
yes.
Again, I mean, Lanfear's is the one right in the center of the shot right now. Well, I'm not going to say it's Lanfear's, but Lanfear's symbol is the bottom. Which means that diagonally across, we'd have to go to the other shot to see who's directly across from that. And I think it's Demandred, if I'm not mistaken. He's directly across from Lanfear. So yeah, it's a huge mess, man. It's
there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, the other weird thing about this whole thing is, there are two statues of little children. One that you can see clearly in the background here, and there's one on the other side of the doorway in the same spot.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know what the hell they're doing there.
There are so many.
I hadn't noticed those, actually.
Yeah, so focused on the seal.
Those little kid ones are creepy.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the shot pulled away. Okay, so that was a lot. Generally. Okay, we got an up close of the kid here. No,
I'll be honest with you, I screwed up originally. I thought there was 5 seals because I thought the initial image was the little girl standing in there. But then I went, man, there's 6 seals. So there are 6 seals. Plus Ishi. I mean, but I don't know where the other 2 seals would be. Unless you count the entire manor house as sitting on some kind of pattern as well.
But how many statues were there? There were 8, right?
6. No, there were 6. What are the first shot that you just had up there?
No. Statues. Statues in season 1.
Oh yeah, there's 8. There's 8
Forsaken statues.
8
Forsaken statues.
Yeah.
But there's only 6 of these here.
I thought that counted more. I'll have to go back and count.
Somebody said they're in the very opening shot. You can see 6.
Yeah, there's only 6.
Well, let me see.
It's there. It'll be like House 1 or something.
House 1. Looking.
Yeah, it's not the top-down shot, but the other shot.
House. Seal? No, not seal 1. House.
No, there's only 2 house shots.
Door 1. House top. That one?
Yeah, no, the one next to it.
House. Just house.
Whatever. That one.
Okay,
Yeah, that
great. Oh, yeah, look at that. An overhead view of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 6 right here.
And then the one against the wall where the trees are, that's the little boy statue, and there's another one against the wall on the right. So there are 8 statues there, but 6 of them are seals. The other 2 are children.
Huh.
Interesting.
The other thing is, they're set there in a pattern. Right? There's like 2, 2, and 2. Almost like they're defending this house. Or protecting it or something, which is weird to me.
I mean, it's almost like not in a pattern, because it's like a zigzag, and then like, nope, and then,
They're in pairs. They're in pairs.
Oh, okay. I forgot. This one doesn't look like a statue from this, from here. Like, it doesn't look the same as the others, but I think maybe it's just the lighting. So it's these 2, these 2, these 2.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I see what you're saying. Hold the phone. The seals in the back we were looking at aren't even in the same orientation. What?
Yeah, that's what that was part of the notch thing, is that they're twisted, like they're twisted.
Yeah, they're twisted.
So
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
sealed
Every
is pointed
seal-
downwards. Yeah.
The Aes Sedai symbol in the center is different on each one. It's orientated differently on
Wait,
each one.
is
Yes,
it
absolutely.
different, or are the designs around it different?
No, the designs are in the same
I think
order.
both.
Oh wow.
No, they're not. I think they are different. I think they're different, aren't they? I think they're both different, aren't they?
No, the designs are in the same order. It's the center seal that's rotated. Go back. Yeah, you can go back to that one shot. And
Okay, this looks like Ishi's.
yeah, it should be the one to the right of that should be Grendel. The one to the left should be Lanfear, which is exactly what it is.
You know, that does look right. Yeah, that looks the same.
Yeah, they're in the same order.
It's so hard to see, but I think
Oh,
you're
okay.
right. And then we've got.
So then,
let's see.
It's the symbol in the center
That's
that's
close enough.
rotated differently on each one, or they're rotated differently around.
Oh,
the
this one's
center.
clearer. This one's relatively clear. Okay, so that one is. Oh God, I'm gonna. Sorry, guys. You want this to be way closer. So
I gotta wait. I gotta wait
make
till
it
it shows up
closer.
on the screen. So
Okay. Well, that is a you thing. This I can do here while we're talking. Okay,
you can do
so
that.
yeah, this.
Yeah, they're in the same order.
I think.
You have Lanfear at 2:00, and then you have
These are the honeycombs for sure.
honeycombs are at 4:00.
I would call that 3.
No, the honeycomb is 4:00. 3:00 is the other one.
Oh, you know what?
Is
Yeah,
that-
that
is this
looks,
the
that
one where
looks
she's
like a
dancing
bee.
next to it, or the other one?
She's running past it. This is the
Yeah,
one where she's running past
Oh, I
it.
was looking at the other one.
Yeah, it's on the right side.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they're all
Yep.
they're all in the same order.
And they just. That's what I mean. Like, the Aes Sedai symbol itself stays in a vertical orientation. The flame and the fang. Oh, wait, no, you're right. It is upside down. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit. There's so much to look at.
I know, there's so many
I
details.
thought you were full of crap when you were like, oh no, it moves. Because I was like, this looks right. This is a yin yang, but it's the backwards yin yang in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
I said the flame is on the right and the fang is on the left. They're just upside down. Yeah.
So it just fully rotates. Because let's
And
go
there's that
back.
notch. See the notch at the bottom of the base there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. Maybe that's what's denoting.
That's like that's like the clock hand, which it's just this right here.
I don't know. I mean that's why. And there's the little creepy boy or the child statue on the right of it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Okay, I have not been paying any attention to chat, and the faces are facing different directions. The sigils are all in the same order, says Larry Daniels. Don't think these are the actual seals. Oh yeah, no, I don't think they're the actual seals. I think these are like an homage.
Oh no.
Like
representations.
Yeah, these are just like, this is a Darfriend's house. They love the Forsaken. They're just kind of like Forsaken worshippers. That's my guess.
Which is really weird because you would think that would stick out in any country.
Oh, hang on though. All right, so if you go to the shot,
Yeah.
do you have this happen to have the shot where where the girl is getting to the door?
Let me see.
Where you can see the one on the left. There's like one to the left of the brazier, and then there's one to the right of the brazier.
I've got.
Like you can see.
Let me see if I can. I'll bring it up so I can help.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I've got. Oh no, shoot! I've got one of them. It's the one I was just looking at.
Yeah, you can see like the Trolloc like charging towards the door. Yeah, the one on the left, you can see that it's Lanfear pointing bottom.
Okay.
Look at seal 4.
And to the right.
Okay.
And to the right, it's the Semirog one pointing bottom.
Seal 4, found it. Oh, it's whenever they're walking out. Okay, yeah. That should have the same stuff.
Maybe that's the one he's talking about. Maybe
No.
those are the two he's talking about.
Yeah, I've got so I've got this one. It's gonna be terrible. It's like the Trolloc is chasing the girl in.
Yeah.
So you can see
Right.
one on the left side.
So it's the two
and one
that
on
are
the right side.
framing
And there's
the door, kind of.
Yeah, two that are framing the door, and you can see the one on the ground in the middle as well. As she runs past it.
Okay,
But
so
you
I
can
only
see,
have
like,
I have
the
a shot
order.
of just the right one, not the left one. But if you look at the one they're coming
Let me
out,
DM you this actually.
Yeah.
they're
do
coming
that.
out of the house. I think that's the one he's talking about. It's the same 2.
I'm looking at the one where she's going in. I'm just gonna DM it to you right now.
Yeah, please.
I
If you
got
can
it.
see the
That
Lanfear
works.
one all at once, that would be helpful. Boop. DM Egwene, if you would, please.
Yeah. On Twitter or in Discord?
Oh, Twitter, please.
You got it.
Is this like what you're talking about, Kevin? What she has on the screen right now? Is it similar?
I don't have anything
Hang
on
on,
the screen.
I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not. It's
I should take it off.
that is a shot, but I think it's more clear in the other
Oh
shots.
yeah.
Just
No,
saving
I just went through the. I grabbed what I could. I was in a hurry
you're
right
good.
before the show.
You're good. The quality, it's
all
like
good.
hard
I
to
mean,
see a lot.
I didn't think I was gonna see something new.
No, it's crazy.
Learn something
the
new
amount
every
of
Wheel
details
Time
in here.
show. Oh my gosh.
All right, high quality,
chat.
still courtesy of.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Vamp for us for a second, chat.
High quality, still courtesy
Stop
of who?
relying on us.
Kevin, this is straight from you, right?
Of unraveling the pattern. I mean, me.
Oh, yeah.
Lauren, my back.
It is weird that there's only 6. I guess, like, while you're doing that, why 6? Does this Dark Friend have a beef against 2 of the Forsaken? Maybe?
Maybe her 2 favorite are their 2 favorite are in the inside of the house somewhere.
Oh, or like the entryway, maybe. Because honestly, the orientation might kind of work.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's that weird. There's a pattern on the ground around the house on top of everything else, which is cool.
Okay.
When you look at the overhead shot of the house, you see the girl's actually walking on it. She's walking on the bricks and part of the pattern. But when you look at it from the overhead, you actually see the pattern a little bit better. It's crazy.
Overhead shot of the house while I wait on this.
That's called
just
house.
House top or just house?
Yeah, house top. Yeah, house top.
It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's like really hard to see.
Just sent.
I got a shot of the actual ground, and that's actually called.
Yep, got it.
Outdoor ground or whatever.
Oh yeah, this is this is pretty clear. Okay, nice. Let's go to this and make it way bigger /
Ding it.
better. Here we go. We're adjusting. What are they? What are in the spy movies? It's enhance.
Oh, enhance.
Enhance. Okay, I'm just gonna make this as big as I can so we can talk about it. Okay, so...
Oh, there's part of the pattern right there.
Yes. So we've got... They are exactly opposite. That's so interesting. The flame and the fang in this one are opposite, which is cool. But Kevin, do you think that they rotate differently? It's not just the whole circle rotating. They're like rotating on a different pattern?
Somewhat, yeah, because it does seem a little odd that the one to the left is the one where the Lanfear symbol is pointing downwards, but if you follow like the tier of Tarvalon, that would be going towards, I think that would be Semirog's at the top.
Yeah.
And then on the right you have Semirog pointing down. It's a little bit harder to see, but it would be...
Oh, I see it. So, right, so you have...
I'm gonna zoom them in one by one because looking at them
so you
all...
have Semirog on the bottom on the one on the right. And then you have Asmodean, and then Grendel, and then Ishi. So the actual symbols are still in the correct order.
Yeah, same, yeah.
But they're rotated.
Yeah.
And the flame
rotated.
is
But they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, the flame is different. I think it's the flame that turns, or however you want to look. One of them turns. The flame doesn't move and everything else, but I think the flame does move because on the right one, the flame is actually pointing down, and the fang is pointing up, and the one on the left, it's the other way around.
That's true, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, Oliver's Ears, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. How and by who do you think the Forsaken are released? I think the trailer is implying that Ishi will be releasing Lanfear.
Right.
But, you know...
Is it Lanfear, though?
Well...
It could be another.
It could be another,
you know.
but I think it is.
Could be.
I think that would be foolish, and I know this discussion has happened, and I've been thinking about this for a while, that it would be foolish to release one Forsaken a season. That's just not probable, right? So they would have to release multiple to really get the full effect by like season 5 or 6 that all of them are out, to really get everything going. So it's odd that we've gotten shots of Celine. We know what her face looks like. We know who she is. Why are they hiding the face on the other one?
I think it's just a cool shot. Like
It's a cool shot, but I think there might be a different one. It might be somebody else.
I mean, it might be red
That's just
herring.
me.
You might be right. All right, so let's just so this one's on the right, just so we're all on the same page. This one's on the right. We've got the Fang upside down. So right. And the bottom, we're saying this is probably Semiraj, right? This is the symbol we think is her, the like headdress.
Yep.
Correct? Okay, so then we're gonna move it over. And, you know, bear with me, everyone. I'm going to be doing this thing very expertly. We've already determined that I'm incredibly professional, so that's what's going to happen.
The most professional.
The most.
He's statistically the most professional.
All right, so we're over at this one, which is on the other side. The flame and the fang are, like, upside down compared to that other one, but right in the right orientation, how they're supposed to be. Okay, and so at the bottom, we have, this is what we think is, wait, is this Lanfear, right? The baseball at the bottom?
On the left one, yeah.
Yeah, the left one.
The baseball. Yep,
okay.
That's the baseball one, yeah.
Yeah, which we think is Lanfear, because it's like moon-like, maybe.
Maybe this is our first hint that it's a red herring. That maybe you got something there where Lanfear's is still standing, and we thought the one on the floor was Lanfear's.
Well, the thing is, the one on the floor could have fallen off the pedestal in any direction, right?
It could have.
That's true.
But we have the base near it.
We have the base near it, and we have the Aes Sedai symbol in the middle. It's pointing to a certain thing. So it's weird. I mean, I don't know.
So let's see where the base is. So let's pull up the one that's on the ground again. And so if the pedestal is 2... Sorry. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta figure this out. We're gonna go back here, and then we're gonna go here. Oh, I went to the wrong place. Thank you for sending me that, Kevin. That was a great photo.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and then yeah, we'll pull this up. Okay, we can see the base. Perfect. So
yeah, the base is right there.
You can't see it right now because of course, why would you be able to? And make my life easier, it just work. Okay. Wow, we're almost there, everyone. Everyone relax. Everybody calm down. It's fine. Well, I messed up. There we go. Okay, so.
Everyone calm down.
Everybody stop panicking.
Relax, everyone.
Jeez. All right, so the base is there. So this could be Moghedian.
Depends on how it fell. Yeah, I mean.
But it could be Lanfear. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be Lanfear, right? Because we have Lanfear on the bottom already.
Yeah, I mean, where the Aes Sedai symbol is pointing, it shows Lanfear and what I would think is Moghedian, which is exactly what the other one was showing, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I think at some point I'm pulling up just to make sure because this is.
You gotta see what the one on the right.
I'm seeing things I have never seen before.
What's happening?
So,
because like I'm looking at the other another picture and I'm seeing so much.
Because the Fang is upside down in this one, like it is for the land. No, like it is for the Semirag one.
We think it's I mean, it depends on how it fell. Did it roll? Did it do anything?
Well, no,
it just fell over.
No, I mean the flame. Like we're looking at like in the middle.
Okay, yeah. So the flame is on Lanfear. The Fang is on Moghedian.
Well,
or is that Semiraj?
No,
that's Semiraj.
No. So, what I'm saying is, in like I think you might be onto something with the one that lines up perfectly with the base is the one that it's meant to indicate, right? So I don't know why the flame and the fang are rotating. Like that's interesting, especially because they seem to be rotating at an off pace with how the rest of the circle is rotating. But in this one, it's opposite from the one we thought was Lanfear, right? Because the one we thought was Lanfear had the appropriate ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai orientation on it. This one, if it's Lanfear, then it's wrong. Which, you know, like, if Lanfear's on the bottom, it's wrong. It's backwards. And so, yeah, part of me thinks that it's not Lanfear. I think it might be Moghedian or something. Like, because based on how it might have fallen, Moghedian would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm
Hold on.
yeah, I'm interested. I'm very curious to kind of. I sent you a second one too. That the reason I was kind of like throwing my hands in the air, like I just didn't care, is you could see like you can even just like look at the look at the two on the left, and you can tell that whatever is pointing down is different. Like for the actual
I see what you're saying.
two on the left. I'm just like.
Okay.
I'm trying to find another shot. I saw that one. I saw that
two
one.
On the left. Two on the left.
Oh.
Two on the left. There we go. Whee! Thank you for sending that.
Man, yeah, bring that up because I just saw something odd.
Okay, so
We're just finding so many secrets.
yeah. So do we think well, I guess the thing is kind of tilted. I was gonna say, do we think the flame is a little more tilted in the one on the left, or
Yes, that's what I was saying before. Yeah,
It does for sure. Yeah.
but it also the stand looks slightly sideways. So part of me is like,
It looks like it's tilted.
Yeah.
And that one also is Lanfear and Moghedian, if you notice. So the tip of the flame is where Moghedian would be. Not Moghedian, sorry, Semiraj, because it's directly across from Lanfear. Lanfear
We're
is
looking at two.
the one on the left.
Okay.
If you look at the one on the left, right, the flame, the tip of the flame, is kind of like at 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And that's Semiraj.
Mm-hmm.
And then directly across from it is Lanfear. If you look at the one on the right, the tip again is at Semiraj for the flame, and the fang is pointed down at Lanfear.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's the clue. Maybe the clue is that we're getting them both.
This is a logic game. I need to like get a pen and paper. But I do think
Yeah.
it's worth noting that the one on the left does not have a perfect alignment. Like none of these symbols are perfectly aligned with the bottom, which now
they're
it
not.
makes me think, are we wrong about that? And how do we decide? Is it the flame and the tip of the flame? Is it what are we talking, like, you know, is it where the flame and the fang meet? Like, I don't know.
Go back to the.
Or does
go
it
back to the
only
one on the
fall
ground.
over when it meets the correct one? Who knows?
Oh, maybe they rotate. Is that
Yeah,
like,
that-
Like you have to spin them. Yeah.
Go back to the one on the ground real quick.
Okay, back to the one on the ground. One second.
Sorry, I thought I saw something I hadn't seen before, but I'm not sure if it makes any sense or not.
Okay, give me a moment. One on the ground. We're back. Except for that I have to rotate it now.
So sorry. I'm sorry,
If
Kritter.
this isn't revolutionary, it's over.
It might be. I don't know.
Okay, well, we're getting there. Slowly, surely, methodically, meticulously. There we go. What are you talking about?
All right. So if you look, I'm waiting for it to pop up on YouTube because if you look at outer circle, right?
Okay. Looking.
So the outer circle or outside of the symbols.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if it's a pattern because I don't see a pattern except for the one right above Lanfear, which would be Moghedian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has like 3 notches kind of perfectly aligned with Moghedian.
Mm-hmm.
See him on the outside of the circle?
No, yeah,
I
I
see
totally see
that.
it, yeah.
I do not see that
you're
on
right.
anybody else.
Oh, baby. Okay, let's
But I don't know
go
if that
look.
means
Let's look
shit.
at the others.
Let's go back, let's go
compare.
back.
Let's roll the tape. Hold on. Let's see
Roll
what
the tape.
let's see what the best one. Let's pull up one of Kevin's. Those are good quality.
Kevin's are way better than mine
Notches. I mean, I don't want to.
because he's grown up on Trolloc
I
milk.
just think the quality is really helpful.
Can you imagine going to the store and getting like 2% Trolloc milk?
I'm trying to decide what the best
can now.
quality one
Oh,
is.
thanks.
I'm trying to find one where their notches are visible, so give me a moment.
I'm Trolloc intolerant. I can't have that.
I'm trying to decide if it's the first shot I sent you. Or,
Yeah, I'm
or
like,
if-
I'm gonna pull up the first shot because that might be the best closest, brightest quality. Okay. The question is
Because I really, oh man, I can't tell if
And
I'm
to
just seeing
answer your
something.
question, Robert, yes.
Which one? The one on the right or the one on the left? On the one you sent
The
me.
one on the right, I feel like I see. I feel like on the right I see the little box, but it's under the Semirog one. But I'm trying to.
Well, that's what we want, though, right?
Like
Whoa!
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I can't tell. I'm trying to see if I'm seeing what I want to
anybody
see.
else.
I do kind of. It's like there is like a bit of a. Well, it doesn't look as like defined. I don't think as the one.
There's one kind of underneath where Samael or the bees are right there at the 5 o'clock. Looks like it has the 3 notches below that.
It's no more defined, I don't think, than like.
It's kind of tough to tell. Robert R. Yeah, the Fang and the Flame are clearly pointing at. I mean, on either side, there's always going to be 2 symbols, right? Depending on how it's spun.
Huh? I can't tell. This is a situation where I want to be like enhance. Like, let me get in there.
We really need to enhance, yeah.
Yeah, like if I could, well, I could maybe pull up Prime Video and then do like the best quality. I don't know if that would be any better than
Go to that one.
I just don't know that this one is like it's got enough definition.
I will say that it's very odd to me that so many of them are pointing to Lanfear and Muggy. I'm sorry, Lanfear and Semiraj.
So many.
Yeah, so maybe
of
it
them.
isn't the Aes Sedai symbol that rotates. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to
so-
say if it's just if the entire circle itself rotates or if it's just
Wait, yeah, like hold on. It is. It has to be, right? Because like think about it. These two are the. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something you aren't looking at. Let me pull it up. One sec.
What are you looking at?
I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're backwards. They're perfectly backwards. So it's as if they're rotating. Together.
They're like the ultimate nerd chill chat.
Yeah, it is a little bit. We're pretty.
That's
we're,
us.
We're wiling
Totally geeking
tonight. But no, I feel good about this because I feel like this is something finally that I can contribute, and that these are directly backwards. It's
They are.
Semirog is on the bottom of one, the top of the other. The Aes Sedai symbol is perfectly flipped, so I think the entire orb is rotating.
Yes, and it's weird because
I think so. Yep.
Even on the one to the left of the one on the left, I think it still points to Lanfear and Semiraj.
Well, right,
Yeah,
because
so
if the
the
whole thing is
sensor-
rotating,
yeah.
it's always going to point to them.
Right.
Yep.
So
yeah, the Aes Sedai symbol doesn't move, but the actual circle itself will
Is-
be oriented.
Is
but
Wheel of Fortuning,
yeah.
is clocking, is doing the talk.
Yes.
yeah, again, I'm still saying that they're all oriented in a way that point to Lanfear and Semiraj.
Yes.
For those
Which
two, yeah.
Yeah,
But I,
well,
yeah, maybe that.
Even the one to the,
Yeah,
to the
meaning
left
that
of the left one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on a limb and say there's a possibility that we're getting both of them in season 2.
I think I've started to fall into I think that the one on the ground is Mogedians. I think that I'm like almost like 99% sold on that theory at this point.
Because it looks like it was at the base. Are you?
It looks like it was. I'm looking at that. Yeah, it looks like it was like the way the base is like landed. If you just simply slid it back where it would be most logically closer to, and the fact that we have the Lanfear pointing down one.
But then one of them isn't perfectly aligned. There's nothing aligned to the bottom on one of them. Like, let me.
Yeah, that one's a strange.
That one's
one.
an enigma. Like, what's that one supposed to symbolize? If the bottom is the key, maybe it's the top.
It can't be the top because it's the same thing.
Well, yeah,
It's
the same.
either
It would be
Lanfear or
it would be
Semiraj.
wonky no matter what. Yeah, like on that one, it's messed up. And the question is, why is that one different? Sorry, pulling it up.
It looks tilted, so it could just be from age or time, or whatever.
I guess that one is the one that's tilted. That's a good.
The one on the far left is the one that's tilted.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
And we could logically figure out which one it maybe is facing, because now that we know that the Aes Sedai symbol is static, it's the whole wheel itself that moves. You can figure out which ones would be between the point there that could be pointed down.
Facts. Okay, we're pulling it up. This is gonna.
It's kind of halfway between two of them.
Yeah,
On
so
the far
which
left?
two would it be is the question, yeah.
It's almost. It's,
I know, I'm pulling it up.
I want to say, is it Lanfear and Muggy?
trying. It's close to them.
Yeah,
because
it's Lanfear and Muggy. Yeah, it's between Lanfear and Muggy at the base. Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense because we've already got them accounted for. Are you sure it's them? It's not.
Yeah, Lanfear's on the right, bottom right, because that's the circle, and then Muggy is the spider right next to it. I think. Yep. Right. Yeah. So Flamingo said, "Eyes, can these represent a countdown timer clock in some way?"
Creepy.
It's possible. I
I can
mean,
see something like that.
it'd be cool, but then that means they would move on their own, and that would really freak me out.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. Whenever you look at them, it does like it's interesting. Sorry, I'm not articulating well. Between these two, it looks like it has been rotated just slightly, right? Because you've got the circle here, and it's literally just barely cocked.
Mm-hmm.
You
No
know?
idea what you're pointing at.
Oh, okay. Well,
we can't see what you're pointing.
Well, Kevin probably can because he's watching.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was looking at a close up of a still.
So yeah, like it's just barely like doop, and so yeah, I guess that would be it being caught between Lanfear, and that's where Mogedians is. But then what about the one that fell over? Like, is it all Lanfear and Mogedian? What's happening?
I mean, that's where the tips
Only
point.
Lanfear Mogedian.
Wait, no. Well, hold on.
Oh, it's Lanfear and what's her face, Semirog, are on the opposite sides of the Flame and Fang. Yeah. Okay, Kritter?
Yeah, sorry. I'm like trying to remember because whenever we had the one on the ground pulled up, it was like opposite, right? The Flame and the Fang were backwards.
I'll tell you right now. Let me go look, and I'll tell you. Have it open. Yes, that is correct.
Hold on. Hold on. Would they? No, okay. I was going to say, would they be backwards if we were looking at the thing from the other side? Like it matters which direction you're looking at it from? That could be a problem.
You know, I thought it's weird because it almost looks like the flame sticks out and the fang is kind of
Depressed in,
yeah, depressed. But the one that's on the ground is the opposite. The flame is depressed and the fang is sticking out.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the
right.
lighting.
It does.
It's weird. It's a very strange thing. All right. Want to talk about the people inside?
We already talked about the people inside.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Did we talk about all the people inside?
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Mostly.
We left this
covered
whole
it, yeah.
half hour for the Forsaken.
For the wheels of chaos.
Yeah. And now I'm just like, I feel like I'm just gonna stare at these.
And that little child statue is freaky. It's just kind of leaning forward.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that before.
Like he's leaning forward. Like...
Okay. You know how we were like, oh, they don't rotate. It's opposite. It's backwards. Like, or am I? No. The Fang was down for Lanfears, right?
Julie Schultz.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
it was backwards
stays,
for
yeah.
Lanfear. All right, good. Sorry, I was just like second guessing. I thought the flame
You're
was
good.
all right. Cool.
It's funny. Julie's like, I'm starting to believe we went down a rabbit hole that does not actually exist, and the flame and Talon does not point at anything specific.
Well, yeah. Like part of me is like, why? I mean, but they are rotated. There must be a reason for that, right? Maybe they don't actively rotate themselves, but them on their pedestals are in different orientations, and the question is why? Yeah,
that's
interesante. All right, well, much to consider. We definitely
much to consider, indeed.
Really nailed this.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Kevin Manuel is saying if the fang is depressed, it means it's a male seal. Yeah, that's the idea. Maybe is depending on which one is higher. That's either a guy or a girl.
Oh no, it wouldn't be because the back is flat. I was thinking maybe.
Oh yeah, the back is flat. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not all right. second guess myself there. Like, what if we're just looking
No,
at
I was thinking
the
that
back
it was
of
pushed.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought of that too for a second, then I remembered it was flat.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about last thing before we do our goodbyes. Let's talk about the physics of a seal falling down off of a thing. Like,
Okay.
what if it lands upside down and then flips? So really what was on the bottom
Rotates.
was something else. And it wasn't Monkedian or Lanfear because they are already accounted for. Possibly.
I guess. Okay, so it's weird because like they're not even facing like the same exact cardinal directions. Like
They're not.
So like it's almost like the one on the ground would have to be like pushed to the back and to the right almost to from where it originally was standing. Because if it was like from the back shot of like the Trollocs standing on the stilts, we have like the two that are front facing us and then the two on the right that are like facing us semi the same directional. So but the one on the ground is kind of like it's of the same orientation as the two on the left, so it feels like it's almost like shoved back into the side. So it's like not. This might be just a production thing, which might send us down a rabbit hole in itself.
Could be.
So,
and I don't know who came up with this, but this is brilliant. This is amazing.
I think the biggest mystery.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, I think okay. So we can go into final thoughts because I have like a thing like something something to consider as we go forward. And I'll let Tavern go first though. Kevin, what we usually do is just whatever you want to talk about in the last minute or so of your you have the stage. You can talk about whatever you want, but we'll start with Tavern so you can see how it's done.
Sure.
All right, so final thoughts. I'm sticking with my theory that we may get two taken in this season, and these seals are telling us which two they are. And just because of the fact that we know Lanfear's there, I'm going to say that Semiraj is also coming, and that the Bloody Mass might be her. I'm not 100% sure, but that's my theory. Two. As I stated before, cranking out a lot of new merch for the fandom. If there is a part of the fandom that you think is not represented enough, let me know, and I will be more than happy to try to figure out some kind of design for that. Just send me a DM or whatever if you have an idea for something. I do that for people all the time. So anyways, that is it for me.
Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Okay. So for the trailer stuff, I'll say, or not even the trailer, the sneak peek, I'll say that, keep an eye out, feel free to dig into my Padan Fane thread. I reposted it last night, and so it shouldn't be very hard to find. You'll see I go into a little bit more detail about what I think his arc will be for the season. So that's my big takeaway from this. As fun as the seal stuff is, because I feel like I can spend the rest of my life diving down this rabbit hole. And then, other than that, this Friday, me and Rob of Malcure Talks will be doing another LEGO Talks at a Time. Feel free to tune in on his channel. We'll be doing it at 3 p.m. Eastern. And otherwise, you can find me on Twitter, or I'll post podcast stuff on my podcast feed. So find me and chat with me, because I'm cool with that.
Super cool. Okay, well, we just got a super chat. Robert R., $5. Thank you all for a great time this evening. Thank you all for being here. Everybody in the chat.
Cool.
I want,
Chat is the place to be.
For my final thoughts, I guess I will say that I think instead of like bashing my head against the wall trying to figure out the symbology, I think one of the bigger mysteries is why there are only 6. It's an interesting thing because we've seen 8 Forsaken statues, and where are the other 2, And I agree that when the Forsaken are coming is an interesting discussion, but what's going on with this? Because maybe these aren't Forsaken after all. Wouldn't that be hilarious? But I think they are. I think they are. But what if they aren't? You never know. All right. And then also, I do want to remind everyone that the description of this video has all of our social media information, but it's also got links that can take you to a place that you can donate to fund the strike fund. So it's supporting writers and actors while they're not getting paychecks for writing and acting because they're on strike, fighting for their livelihood. It's livable wages. It's not having their likeness captured and used in perpetuity by big studios. It's, reasonable working conditions. It's all of that. And what happens at the end of the strike is going to possibly impact writers and actors and people in other workforces for a long time to come, because AI is it's happening and it's got a lot of implications. And so it's a worthy cause. And if you have the means, please consider donating to them. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Tavern. This is super fun. I learned a lot about this. I didn't actually fully look at the seals other than like, oh, which one might, apply to which Forsaken before now. And so I'm kind of glad that we did that. And what's up, Winespring? Thanks for being in the chat. Can't wait to have you back here. 6 + 1 at the eye. Oh, well, I don't think these are the actual seals, but good point, Dana Lou. Good point, Dana Lou. And yeah, okay, that is it for the stream. Thank you all for being here. Best believe that if we get a drop on Wheel of Time Wednesday, I'll be posting about it on TikTok and YouTube and all of that, and tweeting about it, and we'll all be tweeting about it, and it's gonna be a good time. September 1st could not come soon enough, but until then, we could just ride this hype wave and have an amazing time. So we'll be back probably next week, unless we don't get any news between now and then, which I doubt. So
unless they drop something crazy on Wednesday,
and then we might go live over lunch. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Kevin, again for being here. This was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.